Hey, what's up guys? This is Dan the Fireman. And I want to talk to you guys about how to ride with a passenger on the back of your bike. How to do it safely. I've already talked to you about what appropriate gear you should have while you're riding. So that's going to kind of tie into this. So first off, you need to have a bike that is ready for it. You need to have a 2-up seat. Obviously, you don't want them sitting on the fender. They're just going to slide right off. Or if you don't have a fender, I'm sorry, your bike's not designed for it. You're gonna need passenger pegs. I mean, are you gonna ride yourself without passenger pegs? I need to turn around. Are you gonna ride without pegs yourself? No, you're not, okay? So they're gonna need their own. They're gonna be able to put their feet somewhere safe. And you're gonna need to make sure your bike can actually handle the extra weight. Some bikes already like bottomed out, okay? So if you add an extra 100 pounds, let's say if it's a small person, to 200, 300 pounds, you're gonna need a lot more clearance between the fender and the tire. So good shocks, you know, adjust your preload adjusters. I can't even talk right, I got a burp. You're gonna have to do all that stuff just to get your bike even ready. Now, to get your passenger ready, and this is where I said, you know, having the appropriate gear is, you know, gonna tie in, and I already did a video on that, so link in the description, or, you know, click up here on the right side. They're gonna need the appropriate gear. Right now I'm wearing helmet, gloves, jacket, boots, and motorcycle jeans. Now they're gonna have to have the same thing. I'm sorry, they're gonna have to have the same amount of gear, cover every part of their body with some form of motorcycle gear. It's super important. It's more important. What's up, guy? It's more important. Oh shit, it's a Mustang. No, you're gonna kill me! No! It's super important that they have the appropriate gear, because if they don't and you both crash, they're not gonna be able to survive it. Now, getting on and off. Now, this is a huge thing. This is very important. This is probably where you're going to drop your bike a lot of the times if you're not prepared for it. Now, to get on and off, you need to be flat-footed on the ground. You need to have your feet fully planted on the ground. You need to have your hands on the bars ready for the added weight and the added motion. And for me personally, I like to keep my right hand on the front brake. So feet planted, right hand on the front brake, both hands on. Make sure the passenger pegs are down. I like to make sure she gets on from the left side, not the muffler side, the left side, and she just swings one leg over like we do, and just kind of sits down. And then when she's on there and she's ready, she's not fidgeting anymore, not finding that comfortable spot, she'll let me know. I'll tell her, let me know. Are you ready? Yeah, okay. So then that's when I start my whole checklist. That's when I start my whole thing about to get ready to, you know, to take off. And, you know, I put it in first gear and I get going and all that stuff. So that's very important. The reason why I don't have her do it from the right side is because there's a pretty good chance she's going to burn her leg or burn whatever. Coming in from the left side is very important. Now, turning and stopping. Okay, these things are kind of separate, but there's kind of the same thing. Turning, you have extra weight on you, okay? More weight, you know, it's gonna be harder to turn. She's obviously not gonna lean as far as you, as she's a beginner rider, he's a beginner rider. I keep using she because I'm kind of speaking about my girlfriend here. Beginner rider, beginner passenger, and you're like, you know, the first time riding with a passenger, this turning thing's gonna be a huge deal. If you're gonna be turning, let's say we're turning left, guys. So if we're turning left, and obviously we're gonna lean into it, counter steer, do all that stuff, and she's gonna sit straight up or lean to the right, wanting to get a good look at where we're going. She's not going to want to get close to the ground. She doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand it, whatever it is. That's going to cause you to stay more upright. It's going to affect your turn. We all understand that. It's a huge deal. So before you get on, you have to explain to her, explain to him, explain to your passenger that when I lean, you lean. When I sit up straight, you sit up straight. Do not move. Just don't move. It's going to, every time they fidget, wherever the body moves, guys, you understand this. Wherever the body moves, the bike wants to move. So you have a passenger on with you, your bike is going to move where that passenger moves. So make sure they just sit there. And a good piece of advice that I read was tell your passenger just to sit there like a sack of potatoes. Just sit there, plumped, just on there. Now stopping distance is going to be increased, you know, more weight, more stopping distance. So be aware of that. So like right now, I feel perfectly comfortable being this far away from the car in front of me. If I had a passenger, I would sit back a little more. I would give myself even more room because, you know, my evasive maneuvers are going to be delayed. Everything's going to be delayed because the passenger has to go with you, has to do the same movements. And if you both are inexperienced, they're not going to be able to do it, and they're not going to be able to do it safely. So just you know, safe distance, safe distance. Now grabbing on, now for me, I personally like it when my girlfriend grabs onto me, you know, around the waist, you know, one hand on the tank if she can reach, one hand around my waist too, so when we stop, she's able to, you know, push against the tank, and when I accelerate, she's able to grab onto me so she doesn't fly off the back. So that's very important. Now, some people prefer not to be grabbed. Some people prefer just to kind of sit there. I like to feel that secure connection. I like to know that she's not flailing around. I like to know that she's right there, and I feel confident in my turning. I feel confident that if she is holding on to me, when I lean, she will lean with me because I feel that she's leaning with me. So that's very important, guys. And that's basically the... I'm going to turn right here. I don't want to stop at this red light. That's basically the main things that you need to understand when it comes to riding with a passenger. So if this was the very first time that you're thinking about having a passenger and you found this video, take that passenger out and just ride around a neighborhood. You're going to practice your slow turns. You're going to practice, you know, your 20-mile-an-hour turns, 15-mile-an-hour turns. You're going to be doing 90-degree turns. You can practice all these things. You can practice it within the neighborhood. Do it close to home, so just in case you do fall and you do break your bike or you do get injured, you're able to just go home. Don't go long distance. Don't go on the interstate freeway the very first time, because it's going to scare the living shit out of you as the rider. It's going to scare the living shit out of the passenger too. Have fun, be safe, wear your gear, make sure everything is cool before you take off, okay? And remember, guys, remember, as the rider, me, I'm riding right now, she is the boss, he is the boss, your passenger is the boss. I keep saying she, your passenger is the boss. If they don't want to be on the bike anymore, turn around, go home. An anxious passenger, someone that it doesn't know what's going on, will not be a safe one. So you guys, be safe, like I said, have fun. Enjoy this time with your passenger, and I'll see you guys later.